an intern, Space Cadet Kahine. Besides general resources on inventors and inventions, visitors will find detailed information and actual inventions. From Otis's improved lifting apparatus, which is a rideable elevator, to the Yale lock, built-in full prims, which isn't going. Slides have died. Edited them. Slides to show. Alright, I think we got it moving again. Alright, the Yale lock built-in full prims is supposed to be coming up someday. There it is. It's even got a keyhole over to the right with a key that turns all the time, back and forth. But nobody probably notices that. Now I've lost slide. There we go. Okay. And we also have a model of the CSS Hunley submarine, built by Krull Eon and complete with an interactive web tour and all sorts of resources available there. And I'd like to really find time to add more things to that, more inventions, but we had to get it going for the history conference, and then I never got back to it. Our newspaper office, the Lincolnshire Chronicle, houses an exhibit of leading abolitionist newspapers done by Plowshare Corval. I'm not even going to wait for that to res, because it's never going to. The Lincolnshire Lending Library holds the rest of Pip's collection, which is 19th century American literature authors' complete works. Again, those are free and available for anyone to take. Rosetta Park was built by Krull Eon and contains an exhibit of portraits that range throughout Lincoln's life. It's kind of a nice reflective place to sit. There's a nice pond, whatever, you just sit and look at Abe. It's neat. Memorial Cemetery was another one of my projects, and it has custom monuments and tombstones for many prominent men and ladies of the time, including some Civil War soldiers, along with some individuals whose history was shared with us by SL resident River Roamer Westland. There are bios and photographs here included also. Another resident, Rodeo Dastardly, contributed information for a display about her great-great-great-grandfather's art, poetry, and prose from the Civil War. She shares that with us from time to time, you know, at events too. The Lincoln Memorial also has a video link to a great little movie featuring Lincoln and his memorial, added by Krull, who also contributed a facsimile of the Gettysburg Address, along with audio of the address. Now, Mary's Grove Plantation has a bunch of stuff. In the parlor, we have an exhibit of period musicians with information on their lives and compositions. Got caught up to finally caught up to Chat HUD. I told you, it's like doing 3 things at once. I'm not that talented. The slave quarters hold the bulk of the resources offered on the plantation. This is a picture of links to sites with general information about history of slavery in the U.S. There's also a book there sampling one of the thousands of first-person ex-slave interviews done by the Works Projects Administration in the 30s. And then a link takes you to the full collection at the Library of Congress. Fleet Goldenberg provided information and web links to resources on abolition and emancipation. And in about a week that picture ought to come up. But to put the resources in, I used an old-time stereopticon. They're hard to see, but web monitors do not work for that time period. Plowshare Corval worked on adding Underground Railroad resources. You see here. Brianna Flanagan and I added resources on the possibility and use of slave signal quilts and other quilts completed by slaves. I also added 2 interactive web tours. One is a typical southern plantation, and the other is a visit to both a north and a south community that shows how the war affected each one. Lastly, for Land of Lincoln, I've built and am in the process of filling a presidential library of works by and about Abraham Lincoln. It'll have over 100 digitized books written about Abe alone, plus a way to search his complete writings and speeches, among other things that I will probably never end up, getting to the end of what's possible to add there. That is not in place yet. It's dumped there until I get ready to move it. Now we move on to Bradburyville, and I promise this won't take so long. Built to honor the works of author Ray Bradbury, the sim opened on October 15th. The carnival area here, done by Abby Zenith, covers information on his novel Something Wicked This Way Comes. All sorts of things and links there. Bucky Barkley built the museum that has a wide area of resources added there about Bradbury, including many video interviews with him. On the island, I've added a display linking to the audio archives of the terrific series of talks recently done on the sim by Professor Logsdon and Maxito Ricardo. The professor, by the way, is Lori's father. This is a picture of the Martian Chronicles. Let's see here. And that's represented by an interactive build along with web links and audio of the chapter represented here. Dandelion Wine got several small builds. There are resources there for the book, and 3 interactive vignettes I built from various chapters of the book. There's the porch swing from A Season of Sitting. The Dandelion Wine Shop was just fun. It wasn't really in the book. But there are resources there if you want to make dandelion wine. Here's another build from Dandelion Wine, the shoe store. And it's a close-up, so not much to see. It's never done this. Okay. Fahrenheit 451 is represented by my hollow-resed interactive scenes along with character sketches, other scenes from the book, and an audio summary. And it's a new experience for us, and we were testing it out, and I guess it worked. I'm in the planning stages right now to add another area on one of Ray's short stories, All Summer in a Day, that was suggested to me by another SL resident. So I'm not sure what we're going to do there. But that's about it so far. Are there any questions?